Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So in today's video, we're going to finally take on the optional boss associated with the Tales of Collab, and also unlock and finish off the quest that gives you the final Souleater weapon, which is a sword. This final quest and super boss does also unlock their hidden abilities, which I will show you at the end of the video. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So at the time of this video, I had already gathered all 7 of the Souleater weapons. I do have the videos on my channel that do demonstrate where to get them. 5 of them should be found within the 3 chapters as you wander through, and my walkthrough should cover that. The other 2 are covered in mini quests, one of which was in Actual, one of which was in El Zion. Anyways, this last quest is marked with a pink exclamation mark, and you head to Ratley and you can unlock it right away. In this case, you're talking to, a weapon person who is trying to unlock or, gather all the Souleater weapons and kind of like purify them, so to speak. And so after some time, you talk to him, and then the quest end will show up in the same location by which you can now start the super boss battle. Be warned, it is not very easy, although there are a lot of different strategies you could do. At this point, I'm going to stop talking now and let you watch the rest of this part in peace, and I'll recommence my commentary at the boss fight itself. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you a little bit later on. Welcome back! So, just a quick reminder that there are cooking recipes that you can cook. The first recipe, called Sausage Specialist, is Alphen, will give you a boost of power and int, which you can eat before the battle. It will give you some extra edge against these super bosses if you deem it necessary. Alright, so I went with a super OP water magic team, similar to the other fight I did against the super boss. In this case, you can actually use other teams out there. I was actually trying a Pierce team as well. So we're going to start with a 1-turn Water Zone AF, and note that I do have Pizza Cut able to activate or attack with water type attacks. At the end of AF, we're going to cast Oratorio, which will reduce our damage taken by 50% and also recure status at the end of each turn with her singing. Not only that, make sure you do cast Lucent Magi as well as the Blue Sky Fantasia. Aisha in Water Zone does have a dual debuff, triple debuff actually, 35, 35, 35, which will help mitigate damage. Lucent Magi also can put a 30, 30 debuff on the enemy. So 2 debuffs, although they're not quite stackable together, they're not additive, they are multiplicative and reducing in diminishing returns, still give you additional shielding. And the reason why is the enemy actually hits you with at each HP stopper with multi hits. If it's unmitigated, will easily wipe out your team with a lot of power in down. And if you have type shields and other physical shields, I'm sure you won't take a lot of damage. Now, something annoying here is that afterwards, it can actually apply poison status. It can actually stun you as well. I did not equip a stun resist badge on Pizzica, otherwise she would be continuing to sing and removing the status for us. So one note in the future that you would want to do is that if you know the boss is going to do that, make sure you equip it. I did have a different badge on to help increase healing at the end of turn, which was one of the newest badges from the collab. Now back to other teams you can use. You can certainly use a Pierce team. One interesting thing about this boss fight is that at the beginning of each fight and also at each HP stopper, it will change resistances such as it absorbs one certain weapon type. So it doesn't absorb elemental type, it absorbs weapon type. So you have 4 weapon types, magic, pierce, slash, and blunt. And you need a little bit of RNG in order to make sure it doesn't null your attacks while you're in the fight. If you bring a team with different weapon types, you can probably bypass that. However, I just went with an all-staff team, so keep that in mind. At this point, after getting to the second HP stopper, and we are fortunate that RNG has treated us as well twice, we can now just do a large AF and just end the fight as is. If you don't have Pizzica singing, you can actually have her contribute to the AF, being that in Water Zone, like I said, she does have that Watery Pierce thrust, which is actually a Grasta from one of the Garrelia dungeons. I can't remember if it's the present day, which is the very first Garrelia dungeon available. It actually really is useful to help get those extra hits during the AF and allow you to get extra AF charges so that you can extend your bar if necessary and then sing near the end. That is usually the strategy with all singers. Try to have them contribute to the AF through attacks, and then near the end you would sing, either through oratorio to make sure you set up your defensive shielding, or if you're looking for extra damage or double damage, you can use Rhapsody Aria, or in the case of Aisha, she also has a song as well. We went with the all defense this time, and note that with all that defense, even with the HP stoppers hitting us multiple times, you can see it's under 100 each hit for multi-hits, and Aisha has the end of turn heal, and Pizzica also has the end of turn heal with her singing. So I went with a little bit defense there. Haven't used Pizzica for a while, but hey, let's be honest, she is awesome and very useful for a reason. Other than that, right after this fight, you do get the Souleater sword. It doesn't actually pop up on the screen like, received whatever. However, when you check your inventory, it will be there. And not only that, is all the weapons will now be upgraded. So instead of saying level 1, it'll have kind of an asterisk next to it so that all the abilities are unlocked. Now, one thing I will say, I'm not really sure the third ability on each of these weapons. First of all, it does have an HP minus, and it is 1,000 HP less. So it does make your units a little bit more vulnerable to attacks. However, it does give you MP, I believe, 100 plus or so. So very useful for magic users, for example, or maybe other users who use a lot of MP during their attacks. Use as needed. Now that wins increased damage, not sure if you have to level it up or just use it continuously. So if anyone has more information on that, let me know in the comments below. And finally, our loadout here. Note that I have a Drain Proficiency Grasta Ore, which was from the most recent boss rush. It allows my 35 debuff to now become 45 debuff, further mitigating damage. Not sure if that's absolutely necessary to win the game. However, I wanted to go as defensive as possible, being that my first forays into this fight were I was getting slapped left, right, and center. And so dusted off the Pizzica, used her again, and of course ES Nagi, carrying my Grasta as usual, all 4. And finally, Altina was actually just there. Don't think she really was needed here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.